Hi guys, I'm Erve Bukasa.
And I'm Lechelle, Aldridge.
So guys, today we're going to be discussing
Savings.
savings. This is a topic that people don't like to speak about because I feel like a lot of people don't like to do it.
I also think finances in general is like a taboo topic.
Yeah, people are afraid to talk about. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because our parents taught us to never talk about how much money you make or all those type of things. Or did your parents teach you that? You sound like you're not.
No, 100%. My parents didn't talk about money at all unless it was like, we don't have the money to do X, Y, and Z. So money was always spoken about in like a negative context. I don't think I necessarily had good financial literacy growing up.
Do you think it's important that like the entire family understands the level in which the breadwinner is at financially? Just in order to think about all the things that you want. Like say, for instance, you making ridiculous claims to your father, wanting this, wanting that. Do you think it's important that the whole family like understands the level of finances they're at?
I don't know. I think that's kind of complicated because as a kid, you don't necessarily want to have that pressure. You shouldn't have it. But as an adult, yes, if you're going into a relationship with someone or you're married, you obviously all need to have a holistic view of what's going on financially. But then I'm also such a big like treat yourself person.
Yeah. That's actually interesting because we want to also discuss like saving, but at the same time treating yourself. What are you saving for right now?
Love a treat yourself moment. Honestly, I could treat myself all the time. I
course.
choose not to. I try to restrain myself. My husband thinks I don't restrain myself, but I do, I promise. I am always saving for travel, number one. Like, that's my main thing. But then I do want to live in between saving for travel. Like, I don't see the point in living so frugally that I'm not enjoying my life in Cape Town right now on a day-to-day basis. I can't go for dinner. I can't go for breakfast or like for coffees with friends because I'm like, I'm saving for my trip to Paris. I don't want to do that. I want to enjoy now, but still saving for the future.
That's actually interesting. Now, how do you, because me, I don't put money away like all at once. I will do month from month to save it. So do you do month to month savings? Like let's say put 1,000 Rand away, put 2,000 Rand away, or do you just do when you get money, okay, 20% goes to saving, 30% goes to your wants, and 50% goes to your needs?
I wish that I was that meticulous about it. But as I said, I don't have good financial literacy from growing up. Like, I wasn't taught how to manage finance well. I think it was very kind of hand to mouth living when I was growing up. So now I'm having to learn it as a 30-year-old, as a 25-year-old. Like when I got married it was a stark contrast of only looking after myself and now having to think about, oh, you do finances completely different to me. Wow. Like my husband does it completely differently. So it's something I'm only learning like probably like mid-20s to now. Like my husband and I have lots of conversations around finances because we're on opposite ends. And so we're trying to move towards a good middle. And so I wouldn't say that I have the best relationship with money. But I'm learning slowly but surely. So only in the last maybe like 5-6 years, and bearing in mind, I only started freelancing and doing content full time in 2020. So it's been an interesting ride.
So do you think like saving money yourself is good? Or having like a savings account and having someone else account for your money instead of yourself? Like some people put their money in like 30-day accounts, 45-day accounts. Do you think those things are important, or do you think just having the discipline for yourself is the best way to go?
I don't think I have the discipline I need to just put it in my little savings pocket. Because if I can get to it, I probably will. So I think having the restraint to put it into a 30 or 45-day account makes sense because it takes long for me to get it out. I really have to think about it. And that helps with like building that pot of money for travel or for something that we want in the future. We're child-free people, my husband and I. We've actively chosen that. So it's a completely different space to you, which I think is great for this conversation because you're in the space where you have this new baby that you have to think about in future terms and also now, like day-to-day needs.
And it's not, and like a baby is not a choice. Like I have to save for college. Traveling is not something that you have to save for.
Yeah, I'm choosing to.
You're choosing to.
It's like, it's a luxury, but it's a luxury that I feel is worth saving for, especially considering we're not going to have kids in the future. So the way that we save is very different.
Yeah. It's actually interesting that you mentioned the contrast in between us, like the fact that your saving is more chilled and it's not something that you have to do. And my saving is more emergency. But also, you might have your own emergencies in life. So you're saving for emergency and rainy day, something that you do as well?
I don't do it.
Wow.
Hectically. It's not
I'm not judging you, but...
No.
Yeah.
No, you can judge me.
Yeah.
You can. It's fine. We have different lives. So it's totally fine. I probably should be doing it in a more like, this is my emergency fund and this is my travel fund. But we are saving. Like, we have a pot of money that we put into. And if something comes about, we will take money out of that.
So do you put your travel money in the same bag as your emergency money?
Yes.
Yo,
so then if there's something that comes up that we need to pay towards, then we have the money for it.
We have the money regardless.
But it just means we then need to rebuild up that fund. So it's not necessarily, I like to view it as a travel fund.
Yeah.
Because I live in Delulu land. But the reality is day-to-day stuff comes in and there will be emergencies that crop up. And we've done it before where we've just taken it out of the travel fund because it just feels more exciting to say we have a travel fund.
Yeah.
An emergency fund feels too adult for me.
Like too
but
scary.
But I do know that is what that fund is for. It's for whatever we need in that moment.
That's crazy that I think maybe we both in different mindsets. Like, I'm in a very, very cautious mindset.
Tell me about your mindset with the emergency fund.
I'm in such a point where, like, bro, I have a daughter to be responsible for.
Yeah.
Now, I never want to also, I think I'm also not a prideful person, but I'm also not someone that doesn't want to go ask other people for money.
Fair.
So I always try to put myself in a position where I'm secure. That way I don't have to go to other people and ask them, yo, can I get money for this? Can I get money for this? Because if you're saving, you never find yourself in those predicaments.
Okay, so you've got those pockets that you spoke about where you're like, this is for emergency, this is for spending, this is for saving. Okay.
Yeah, so obviously for me, I think I'm a bit balanced, but I do like to spoil myself. Don't get it twisted. Like,
luckily, I'm not roaming out into Lululand on my own. I think that my person brings me down a bit. Like he's like you. He's a lot more financially educated.
Yeah.
And so we've had a lot of tough conversations around it, but he's the like grounding factor on the finance front. Like, I'm learning, but I'm not there yet. I think that's where the partnership comes in.
Yeah,
and the education really helps.
It is important to have a partner that balances you out in that aspect as well, like teaches you about finance and keeps you grounded. Because if you are just floating on your own and all of a sudden you have an emergency, it would be a big issue.
Yeah. But also, if you don't have a partner, you can still educate yourself.
Any more tips you have for people within our freelance field that are trying to save money, or just someone in general?
I think it's speaking to the younger version of me. It's not a negative to learn about finances and to educate yourself in that area, because it's only going to enhance your life as you get older to understand how to manage money well, whether it's savings, emergency fund, insurance, whatever it is. Having that literacy will only enhance your future. Honestly, I've loved this conversation. I love a bit of vulnerability, a bit of open conversation, and it's even more incredible that we've had it around finances because it really is quite a taboo topic, but I'm really glad that we're able to do it. So let us know in the comments if you feel like you've gotten good financial literacy or bad financial literacy from people in your life. Let's keep having the conversation about money and finances in an open way.